you don't want to just be silent all the way throughout. So
Right.
just tell me whenever we're live.
We should be good now.
So today's match will be Flames of Darkness versus which is it?
D.E.M.
D.E.M for today. Okay.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
Darius ban, Hecarim ban, or top and jungle so far.
It's looking like Flames of Darkness doesn't want very many bruisery kind of in their champions.
My genius will be understood.
Banning out the AD carries now. So far, these the bans turn out to be. It's not usually they pick out one lane, but most of the time, a lot of the high pick AD carries get taken out, like Senna, or Senna, Kaisa.
All the important ones. Diego.
He's new.
Yeah, I think Defeater, Flames of Darkness's mid laner, played him last week? Or last time they played?
Yes, Defeater also has quite the large pool. He's rather flexible in his pick, so it's not really the winning decision to try and ban the man out.
Looks like top lane being picked first with the Jace, which I know is a comfort pick for Yuri.
Yeah, so you're usually, if the Jace doesn't get banned out, pick on that. Bit of a farm lane with the Jace. But, I mean, that is top lane for you.
Yeah. D.E.M responding with kill. I'm not sure how that matchup goes.
It's a matter of getting on top of the Jace. Kha'Zix's in the jungle, baby.
Let's crank. Ooh, show me the
No.
Oh, no.
I'm that noob, also known for his passive Olaf jungle. Morgana, huh? Might be just grabbing it for somebody.
Yeah. I think. Ooh, Asol. That's a pick you don't see too often, but it's definitely an interesting one.
Yone, huh?
Ooh.
Yone into a soul? Huh.
That. Huh.
I mean, he has the potential to get in on his face. It's a matter of Aurelian just like ults him away, and then like, what's the jungle? Who's the junglers coming in and whatnot?
Yeah. D.E.M seems to.
It's just business.
Silverbana. Not many people really play Silver, but alright. More 80 carry bands.
Just make their lives even more miserable.
Well, on the side of Flames of Darkness, their bot lane's usually rather passive, farms it out, shows up for team fights and such. So.
Hey, you're lost, but I get it.
You don't have the heart for this.
Lucian ban. Yep. Just more 80 carry bands.
Yep. Surprisingly, no Senna ban. Usually picked for 80 carry or support, so.
Hey, she's really strong this batch. Jonathan.
7 out of 10 bans for the bot lane. Wow. These bot lane, they're thinking, man, I was really hoping to play the game this time. Yep, there's the Senna first pick. Well,
Yeah.
first out of the bot lanes.
It's interesting to see what they'll respond with in terms of the bot lane.
Oh, there ain't much to pick, I'll tell you that. Yeah, there's the Udyr jungle.
That's going to give them an easier time of getting on top of the squishy targets like Senna, Kale, and I guess Ashe now.
Well, Senna Ash do have a few slows and stuns, but with the Morgana Black Shield, Udyr can probably ignore most of that.
Yeah. There's not much magic damage to just whittle through it either.
No, on the side of D.E.M, the only magic they have is Kale and partially Yone. Every other auto, Yone does magic damage, but
Yeah.
it seems like a full AD team, so Udyr, if you're going to be building with his chem tank on top of just stacking armor, not going to have much of an issue. Also, a lot of squishies on D.E.M. The most, yeah, nobody's going to have any high health, so full lethality Jace over here poking him out.
Ooh. Yeah, this game is going to look really explosive all over the place all the time. And now we wait another 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
From the side of Flames, it does definitely seem like they're looking to play more of a pick comp, try to catch them out before an important fight, because they have so much lockdown.
Yeah, with the Udyr Roam, Morgana, snares, you're not really going to get away from much.
The huge ASOL stars. It can be really hard to play around.
I'm rather interested how the Kale will play out, because that is a very good team fight potential. Ulting, let's say, the Kazakhs, especially the Yone, when they're in the middle of everything.
Ooh.
It's really a matter of how far behind Kale might end up against a Jace, who's, more twice as much range as them. Probably is going to play the slow farm top lane. I wonder if we can expect any, what'd you say, invades from the Udyr.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, Kha'Zix does get the bonus from isolation damage, but I don't know.
Just only invade raptors. Easy solution.
Hmm. Ashe Senna seems like a really good combo, but when you compare that to Morgana Misfortune, Morgana, if she just has her Black Shield on time, and just has the snare out every now and again, it might not be enough to break through for the bot lane. But we'll have to see how things play out.
Yeah. When it comes to sitting passively and farming, it seems like the Ashe Senna lane will win, considering the mist and generally that they should scale better. But Morgana provides a lot of utility, so being outscaled shouldn't really matter for her.
No, it seems for the most part, between all these lanes, a lot of it might have to come down to the junglers, and then coming down to the team fights on Dragon.
Yeah, it's looking like those are when the game will be decided.
Double exhaust on the side of Flames of Darkness on Aurelian and Morgana. Sheesh.
Wow.
You ain't going nowhere, and you ain't gonna fight. Yeah, against a Yone especially, it's like if you just exhaust it,
Yeah,
majority of his damage just disappears.
looks like they really, really do have a lot of lockdown. And Jace took Ignite over TP. Hoping
No, he's looking to mainly split push the lane. He's gonna leave it to his Udyr and the rest of his teammates to really sink in that dragon.
nothing too unordinary when it comes to runes either.
No. Phase rush Udyr. You ain't going nowhere.
Tapping each and every person in the team fight, making sure to get the stun off.
It's funny to see Udyr back in the meta, especially since he's like been out for the longest time, and how his rework was just announced.
Yeah.
It was funny because like as he got popular week 1, he got nerfed within a week. Like, Udyr's irrelevant? No, nerf that guy. Get him out of here.
So quickly.
So,
It's so sad, but kind of funny at the same time, so.
yeah, they don't want to get people too hyped up before his rework comes out, and then nobody's gonna want him to see him gone, you know. So, Flames of Darkness has been known for their invades, and with an early potential such as Morgana, Udyr, MF, it's not too hard to see that happening here. But already, on the side of D.E.M, they're scouting for their position, waiting for anything to happen.
Ashe is starting tier, which is interesting. Really looking to scale instead of having very much control in lane.
Yeah, seems like it.
Whoa, whoa! Senna's wasting mana! They just lost.
I don't think we can really expect like a crazy game until at least level 2, perhaps. Junglers, well, Udyr could decide to gank super early, but it's a matter of who's pushed up.
Yeah.
Already, Aurelian Soul posturing, making sure Yone doesn't get as much CS as he likes to.
Making sure to abuse the ranged melee matchup.
Mm-hmm.
The junglers are starting on opposite sides of the map, so they should end up at opposite scuttles too, pretty safely. Though Kha'Zix did skip Krug, so he might be a little bit more
Krug
behind.
does take some time. A lot of pings going down. I don't know what that's about.
Multiple targets engaged.
Something you like to see though.
Udyr hovering around the bot lane. Oh, going into the jungle. There's that early invade we mentioned.
Lots of trading going on mid lane too.
Seems Udyr's gonna get away with taking his red for free.
Oh.
Well,
Oh,
Sorry,
Kha'Zix
Sulu.
this one. Udyr drops the flash.
yeah, he doesn't want to get caught on that isolation without his mid laner showing up. Notice that the camera hasn't even parred off the top lane, seeing as how it's just the farm lane. Oh, as you mention it.
Ooh,
The Udyr, or not Udyr, Jace with the 17 CS lead to Kale's 8. Probably just QEing the lane.
He is crashing relatively big wave though, so
Comes Kha'Zix, but it was warded. Kha'Zix can't really 2v1 against Morgana there.
They're walking behind the alcove though, so it might be a little rough.
Team shows up. So does the mid laner, however.
Kha'Zix flashes away.
Ooh, first blood onto the side of D.E.M on the Ashe. It's not over yet though, also.
Heal, exhaust, and flash being dropped. All walking.
Unfortunately, a few of them decided to stick around longer than they needed to.
A really good capitalization on the part of Flames of Darkness, and making sure they have the good communications that their mid laner can roam down.
Yeah. On the side of D.E.M, Yone trying to get first plate, taking too many turret shots here, however, are really gonna show up. Might have to clear that out for him.
Udyr invading on Raptors too.
No respect for the enemy jungler. Can't have nothing in this rift. Oh, misses the W. Might get away. Oh.
Just barely, yeah. Lots of early game control around the bottom side of the map for Flames of Darkness.
Kayle might die here. He lands a QE. Oh, Kha'Zix also coming to top lane.
Can he outplay the 2v1?
Well, he's not gonna have to try that. He's just trying to get the kill, who unfortunately pushed up a bit too close.
Yeah. You know, if he was alpha male Chad, he would have sat in the minion wave and hard 1v2'd that. But, you know.
Yeah, you think?
He would have, I believe.
Hmm. We're really picking up these scuttles for the dragon pit. Just hovering around also. I just warded it. Okay.
Storm of blades.
It's funny to see Aurelian has 32 CS. He hasn't bought an item yet. He's like waiting for something massive.
Yeah, on kill gold and 2 assists as well, so.
Yeah. I suppose he feels rather comfortable in the mid lane. He's not buying items as of yet. And Chase with the engage, full hit combo.
A level up on Kayle.
Yeah. She doesn't have her ultimate yet, so.
Yeah, no R, no range.
No, Kayle is a late game scaling champion, so Jace with his QEs are making sure to really push in for that.
All the builds are looking pretty standard. Nash's Tooth on Kayle, Dirks on the Assassins.
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
That's right, I saved you.
A little bit of trading going on bot lane and top lane.
Kayle throws her ult out. There's the QE combo though from Jace
Gets
with one
bursted down
Serration
really
dagger.
quickly.
Yep. And that's the Kayle ult for a kill. I'm
Kha'Zix
just
is,
happy farming top.
Kha'Zix is in his red side wall. Udyr's on the bot side of the map, possibly looking to get this early Drake.
Here comes Aurelian as well, looking like a 4-man bot. D.E.M unaware.
Yeah, Flame's baiting really nicely. Acting
Here's the
like
party.
the stupidest.
Looking to another double kill for the mid lane defeater here.
My sphere of influence.
And that's Dragon open for free now.
So much wave clear. Wow.
Yeah, you can see us in the Dragon Pit, but can you really stop us? Well, don't seem like it.
They also saw Kha'Zix passing up the river a while ago, so they knew he was topside. And that it would be safe to do this.
Aurelian looking around. Hey, is that a free blue buff?
Yeah, he has a Dark Seal, tier 2 boots, and a steer.
Let's try a
Oh, QE from Jace. Quarter himself.
Just a little love tap.
Storm of blades.
A little dim, but it still works.
Defeater trading with a tower rather than Yone himself.
Ruin heading down the bot lane again. And he is 3-0 with the Dark Seal. Lands a stun.
R confirmed into the field.
Exhaust onto the Ashe. Here comes the map ult. Be able to get another kill from his boot.
Ooh.
Nah, he can just walk away. Oh. All the while, Yone is in the top lane looking for Jace, but Udyr's up there too. Not gonna really find any picks, it looks like.
Looks like the Herald might be getting started too.
Is Udyr actually doing Herald underneath the enemy's nose without them being wary? I mean, that sounds about right. It's not warded, so.
Yeah. Udyr does have camps up though, so this is time he could be using just farm him away and making sure he gets his time history set. Amazing snare from the
Dude.
Morgana.
This is the plays you like to see. If I didn't know better, I think that guy was in the LCS.
This is the undefeated team. Herald's getting placed mid.
Place mid getting all the plates.
Yeah, they're funneling all the gold into the Aurelion
They're currently
Soul.
3-0 Rulian with 5 Dark Seal stacks. Yeah, it do be like that though. Kha'Zix looking to get some action, but
You're still in the area.
it's a knock up. Gonna have to run away as soon as he can.
Flashing away.
Tower might. Ooh.
Oh,
No, he timed that right. He knew. Oh, but then Ignite.
they almost made it out.
Let some
But not
shutdown go for Yone. Luckily, maybe that might get him a bit more in the game there.
Yeah. Shutdown gold makes it safer to farm this wave, and he gets rid of Dark Seal stacks. So that's really big for D.E.M.
Oh, in the top lane though, like Kale's trying to farm as much as you can, but it's kind of hard to when you get poked out of every now and again. Yeah, just like that. Kha'Zix coming to top lane, but it's already warded now. No, Flames has done an excellent job making sure whenever any openings are left, they just ward it up. Fully aware if anyone wants to come and gank them.
Morgana has a lost chapter, so it's interesting to see if that builds into something like an Everfrost to lock down the squishies even harder.
Just all the CC and more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here comes the Udyr. I am speed. Positions the enemy team so they have to take the MF ult because they don't want to get near him.
Is enough for that? She has to blow heal to survive, but
That's a lot of turret shots.
everyone makes it out.
That's gonna be first tower right there as well.
Yeah, Flames of Darkness is
Well,
sitting
actually,
at
just a few more plates.
6k gold lead and climbing. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix is coming up top for the Jace.
Coming up top with the minions already there. Jace throw out a QE. That's a double kill waiting for you, pal.
Pressures the Kha'Zix really hard.
Oh,
Aurelion
really
Soul's on his
sees
way.
the opening, but they know he's coming. Well, I mean, can you really do anything to stop the man? Oh, flashes, dodges it into the ult.
And she gets blasted back and dies on the air.
Top and bot looking to get both towers simultaneously.
Yone is hovering around like he doesn't know what to do.
No, he can't really stick around in his lane anymore. You hit all the while. This entire match so far, Rulian's been hovering around, roaming, ganking every time he can.
Yeah, really doing a good job of just making use of his champion's kit.
Mm-hmm. There's first tower on the top side. snare?
D.E.M should be able to contest this with their jungler nearby, but not fast enough.
Oops, my fingers.
Yep, Udyr does find himself in a 2v1 scenario right here, but it's on top of Dragon. As long as his bot lane shows up, he should be fine. Yep.
Flames of Darkness does get the Drake, and 2 more kills to boot.
No, Flames of Darkness has been looking very coordinated and solid in their teamwork, making sure nobody's out there on their own.
Yeah, this game looks really rough for D.E.M to play.
No, let's wait and see what changes in the next match. Because again, their bans are mainly against the bot lane. Banned out some of the more popular AD carries and such, but that doesn't seem to stop Flames of Darkness here.
Wow. That double up from Misfortune did a lot of damage.
Brilliant in the jungle.
Invading on
Jeez.
his own, taking all the blue buffs. Now they're looking for another dive dash.
TP KL, but then there's Kha'Zix. Yone ulted in for the Aurelion, gets the Aurelion shutdown gold. Gonna have to get out of here as soon as he can, though. Oh, waited a bit too long.
Morgana goes down though, right after.
KL, does she still have her ult? Turn this around, perhaps. Well, if there was a tower that she had a better luck.
Almost. Oh, she's eating too much of the minion wave. Well said. Morgana
All the while.
completes the Leandries.
Okay. And then 9-0 Misfortune right now.
With Gale Force and a Dirk.
Their history.
Now they're only at a 12k gold lead.
Kick up,
It's still winnable. Still winnable.
Only? Yeah. Well, it's a matter of how many more mistakes Flames is gonna make, which, I mean, they haven't really made many. Here you go, Jace with a 2v1. Isolation? I don't care about that.
Yeah. Almost goes down to the Ignite, but not quite.
It's funny, Jace is... Oh, Udyr finds a pick here. It's not gonna be enough.
Or he goes wide. No assist for Jace today. Well, MF completing Collector and her boots. She's in a really good spot right now.
Udyr looking at dive into the tower, but MF not really wanting to risk it. Really in with a full ult combo right there. There's a stun, 2, 3 autos, yep, into the Gale Force, and that's all she wrote.
Ash pops the R, hoping to survive even just a second longer to lock down the Udyr.
Kha'Zix aware of this low Udyr. The last 3 members of D.E.M looking to rotate bot lane. Gotta cover that turret, but all the while, Morgana really in the mid lane. Oh, Kha'Zix not able to find it.
Kha'Zix jumps in, but Udyr lands the stun and just gets the one shot off with MF.
Snare into MF. Oh, holy crap, look at that. Yone seeing a stationary MF, tries to get an ult combo in, but it's not really enough. Bit a little late there.
Yeah. She walks a little bit to the side and says, "No, I don't think I will get hit by this." A little bit of risky trading coming out from D.E.M, and then the Jace comes up behind and just kills them.
About 20 minutes in now. Flames of Darkness pushing for the first inhib right now. 30-5.
With 2 Drakes in their pockets.
Now they won't be able to quite close it out just yet. But probably gonna take out another turret. Actually, at this rate, they might. Even with the team fight, if it were to break out. Flames with marginally large enough lead. Oh, we do just fine. Goes a little down. Oh, Morgana? Well, for the flash. Kha'Zix's feeling a bit too optimistic there.
Yeah, flashing off the entire team. And it is looking like...
No, really on cleanup crew, I'm telling you right now.
Ooh. If D.E.M gets a little greedy, this could be really close to the end of the game. And a quadra kill for the Aurelian Soul. Looking to shove more waves under the tower, and that is not the game. Not quite. Not quite.
No, if he sticks around, Kha'Zix will find him. He should be aware of this, but he might feel comfortable enough that he can beat him out. Oh, I was wondering if he was just gonna back right there.
Looks like they're just heading straight to Drake while D.E.M has to deal with all the inhibitor waves coming in without much wave clear because they're so behind. That's gonna look like just a little bit of a farming, controlling vision, making sure you're in the right spot kind of game.
So far. I mean, Flames just needs to get a few more picks here and there, and they'll split push once more. If they really want to, they could go for the Baron, but they're in no rush for it. They know they can just play the lanes.
Yeah, they can definitely look to force a fight, knowing that the D.E.M has to decide between keeping someone home for wave clear or letting their minions crash into their base and destroying their towers.
2 of the 5 D.E.M players found the jungle. There goes another turret into the second inhibitor. Bit of opposition here with the Kha'Zix Kale. I mean, it's over a wall, sure, but Jace can just poke him out on that.
Yeah. Flames of Darkness are doing a really good job of zoning them out.
Fat old Marillion. Leading to a QE one-shot from Jace. This Yone really wants the Morgana, but not gonna be able to find it.
Yeah, it gets exhausted.
That's the poke you come to expect from Jace. Aurelian chasing here with his ability. Gonna be able to catch him out. Double kill with the snare. Yep, there it is.
There's the true synergy. The solo laners chasing the kills at the very end of the game. They have to get the tiebreaker points. They have to.
Nope. Did it happen to freeze on your end as well?
Yeah.
Not sure what that's about.
I wonder if one of the teams might have won.
I mean, we can only assume it in 40-10 fashion with the Nexus taking the hits right there. That's probably what happened, but I mean, I'd still like to see it with my own eyes, you know?
Yeah. Does look like the first game goes to Flames of Darkness, though. And it was a really good performance from them.
So far, looking at the same bands out here for the top lane. Orn Darius.
Yeah, not looking like anything too out of the ordinary.
It's a bit funny having seen the a bit on both sides. Just what was it, 7 out of 10 bans for the bot lane. But as we saw, bot lane was more of like very standard, very played back, not very aggro on the side of Flames of Darkness. Well, there's the Udyr. But I mean, Flames of Darkness has plenty of junglers to pick. Another one being as I showed before, the Olaf, as they hovered over the last match.
The trademarked Olaf.
Yeah.
Your work decisions will
Yeah, there's Morgana. It's always funny to see the bands change from onto the second game because it's like I didn't like playing against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're wait,
Oh, wait, huh?
Flames banning their own Jace. All right,
Oh,
seems
a little bit of D.E.M. Maybe it was accidental though.
well, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure D.E.M's a bit happier for that.
Camille.
Camille into what precisely?
I know Camille's something Yuri does not like playing against. And now he's probably
is that
saying,
right?
"Oh my God, Camille."
I'm sure he has something that he'll be fine.
Yeah. Wukong. Kaisa. Maybe with them showing their AD pick, there'll be not 7 bot lane bans, but I guess we'll have to see.
I mean, you've already got. I think there'd probably be a Senna ban, just to get rid of Senna support. But aside from that, you should probably focus the further bans towards the mid lane.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's not really any like massive characters in bot lane that you have to ban out nowadays.
It is really looking
Lilia.
like the game decider, and Lilia is a really interesting pick.
Taco Bros in the mid lane. He was like, I don't know what I want to play. Hovering on that TF, let's see how Defeater responds. Corki, huh?
Corky's something you don't see very often at all.
I think the idea behind that is that whenever TF has the gold card out, as long as Corki saves his dash, you can just dash away. Even if he's stunned, he'll get away.
Ah, right.
And also, as we saw in the previous game with the Ruling Soul, Defeater has a very wide map pressure, and he's probably looking to do the same thing with Corki's care package as well.
Oh, yeah. It's looking like the side of D.E.M is saying, I'd like some of that map pressure. Please give me the Twisted Fate R.
That would help with it. I'm not too sure how Lilia adds into that, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Again, more of the bot lane support bans. No Senna ban though, and I feel on the side of Flames of Darkness they're gonna pick for Senna.
I'd like
I'm
to
sure-
see that.
I'm sure somebody's gonna pick Senna. She's too popular to deny.
Yeah. And the last ban is Nunu.
We're gonna assume if Flames doesn't pick up Senna, D.E.M's going to.
Yeah. There's
Yep.
the Olaf.
Olaf in the jungle.
Okay, insane prediction. Senna.
I'd be willing to bet on that. I'd be surprised if they didn't pick Senna, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's-
Senna can only do so much, though. Oh, Lucian Senna? A couple
Lucian
bot
Senna.
lane?
yeah.
The cannon bot lane?
Swap the cuss out for Zaya real quick. Ooh.
Crankmeister. All right. It's a bit interesting how that play out. I mean, if you get, if you get a pull, Blitz can burst him out. All right, no center this game. All right, all right. Lulu, however, polymorphing a Lucian does stop his damage.
Yeah. When the games are more structured like this, Blitzcrank definitely adds a little bit of flip factor, because if you hit a hook, things just go crazy.
Yeah, it can come down to that, but then you have to look at the enemy team. Like, they gotta have Olaf and Wukong, two characters that Olaf doesn't care for getting CC'd, and Wukong can dash around and go invisible.
Yeah.
Corki has the versatility of not getting caught out also, so it's gonna be real tough to land those hooks.
Lulu has a lot of peel too, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Lilia adds into the whole mix here, because her whole gimmick being like, hey, I hit you, not go to sleep. And
Yeah.
again, if you can hit the Kaisa Corki with that, that's great, but with Olaf, doesn't care for CC.
Yeah, Lilia should have a lot of control in this jungle matchup, I think, because.
Let me see. What's the level 1 team fight look like? Because I know Flames they're gonna want to invade this without a doubt.
I really hope so.
They always invade on their second matches.
Is it always the second? Is it like a lucky charm?
It's guaranteed to be the second every time. Every second match they've ever had, they always invade. They kind of like walk around on the first match just to see, like, is the enemy team aware this could be a thing. But second match, they like run up to the bush, and you better have that warded or ready for them or get out.
I guess.
For a level 1 team fight, Blitzcrank's always nice to have around, but
yeah, it's really scary invading into him, because you just get flipped on your head, and now you're the one getting invaded.
Bot lane Wukong versus Camille. Camille lands the ult, Wukong can't really get away, but Wukong has enough CC, and with the invisibility, you might not have to worry about too much on that.
Right, especially if you're ahead of the Camille.
Mid lane, that's more of a skill matchup. The only kind of like interaction really is the gold card into Corki, which Corki can just dash away in the midst of getting hit with a gold, kind of avoiding majority of the damage.
Yes.
Bot lane over here, Blitz just has to land a few pulls, CCM. Lulu has to polymorph the AD carry to hopefully avoid majority of that damage there. So we'll see how things play out.
In bot lane, it's looking like whichever side gets ahead will probably stay ahead for a little while.
Yeah, I'm curious. I've never seen a Lilia jungle, so I wonder what the ganks look like on that. Like, I know Olaf can jungle really well, and he can solo a dragon for the most part.
Yeah.
So. Man, if I was on the side of D.E.M, I would have loved to pick a Rammus jungle into that team of theirs with the 4 AD. That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah.
D.E.M doesn't necessarily have any tanks besides Blitzcrank, so he'll stack armor, perhaps.
Yeah, if it goes late enough and he manages to get some money. It's looking like, for both of these teams, managing to get ahead will be important.
Well, as we saw from last game, it's a matter of, not giving up too many picks to the roams, being prepared for Dragon, being aware of, map situation. Because Flames was really in the driver's seat of, they were roaming, they had everything warded out. There was never a point where they got caught out. So I'll have to wait and see how D.E.M responds to that.
Right.
Let's see.
Let's see it. Level 1 invade.
Yep, they're pinging for it. They're heading over there. I told you. It doesn't seem like D.E.M's too aware. There are only 2 out of the 5 team members there. Not the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank barely even leaving spawn. TF spots everything. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
I gotta go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, no. Blitzcrank is still in the bot lane.
Oh.
The entire bot lane is down there. Seems like they're just gonna give it to him, but I mean, honestly, if Blitzcrank hook, you at least get a pick out of it. But doesn't seem like they want to chance it. In fact, they're just gonna take the enemy red rather than do that level 1 fight. TF stopping it back here and there, but
Yeah, now this is a little scary for the side of Flames of Darkness's bot lane. If D.E.M manages to spot them out or know that they're walking back now.
misses the Blitzcrank hook, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't good for them. That's gonna be first blood. Yep.
Wow. Lulu getting the blue buff is really good for their laning phase as well. It's gonna be tough to play around now.
Oh yeah. What's funny is now Olaf can honestly, if he wanted to, just sit in jungle, just do as he pleases now. He doesn't have to push for anything, really. He's ahead. He's gonna be ahead. I mean, if he really wants to, he could be gutsy and invade, but that could be unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, first blood on the side of Kaisa is nice, but oh, yeah, there's Corki. He knows. He's like, you didn't even get a buff. Oh, 2v1 on defeater. Get a gold card out. There's a stun. Hands of Ignite, though. However, Lilia is still only level 1. Doesn't even have her bowling yet. So.
Corki has a really nice farm lead too. So it's gonna be really hard for the mid jungle of D.E.M to play against this.
No, it's gonna be a while before Lilia becomes relevant into the game, being so far behind now. Oh,
That goes wide, but Lucian still chooses to trade back, and the Lulu shield is a little late.
Running will make
Camille
no
hook shots
difference.
away, but she gets chunked really hard, and now
I'm gonna have to back, and then with that, Udyr can go into the enemy jungle. Good shields on the side of Lulu. This Kai'Sa's extremely low.
yeah.
They really don't want to miss any farm out here.
All the
Oh.
that ward bot lane thing. Oh. Lulu gets a little
Line
caught.
up.
Lucian flashes onto the Kai'Sa. Doesn't make it though. That ward bot lane, they missed the little trick to put it in the river brush. Feels so bad.
I got the pink ward is still on the blue side of D.E.M. Olaf probably looking to invade the jungle as soon as he gets the chance. Like, he's already ganked top lane once. He's still ahead, I presume, in CS. Let me have a look soon.
So predictable.
Yeah,
They didn't
11.
force out of lane it, but she does have a little bit of an item advantage here.
Goes the top lane.
Flash coming up there, and it's just a kill.
Oh, don't get hooked under tower, Olaf. I know you want that, but no TP in the bot lane. But I mean, bot lane's extremely low. Camille can go in. Lands a stun. There's the flash from Lulu. Gets a pick. Okay.
Yeah, really good job from D.E.M making sure to trade back with the TP advantage they'll always have top lane.
hanging around the bot lane again. Wonder if we could just clear out Dragon. He's probably thinking the same thing at this point. Actually, he doesn't have any lifesteal as of yet. Oop. Here comes Defeater.
Is that a solo kill? Not quite. And Lilia shows up.
Lilia shows up. Let's go bowling, cousin. Oh, TF, you don't need to push up, buddy. Yeah, that's why. you need to be bait. You don't need to take unnecessary hits like that.
Yeah.
No respect for the Lilia here.
He might have been looking for a flash gold card, but if he was, he surely didn't do it.
No. Blitzcrank gonna have to save his AD carry. Might not be. Oh no. Lucian gets away there.
A noble support.
Look at that damage from the Wukong. Oh my goodness.
He's 2 levels up. Yeah, this is just really hard for the Camille to play at this point. Oh, Blitzcrank has Summon Airy.
That was mediocre.
That's not right.
Yeah. I wonder what happened there.
No, it might have been that he's DM's thinking we need something more aggressive. Pulls up the Blitzcrank. Unfortunately, didn't continue to pull out the correct rune page there. So
Oh, guys, I promise this is what the Mobifier guide told me to do. It's
oh,
really
jeez.
going Rabadon's first time. Lilia's boss side, and she might be looking for a lane game.
Yeah, but with how far behind not only Lilia but the bot lane, really, it's not gonna be easy. They also do have it warded out.
Yeah.
Like they know she's there.
Oh.
Blitzcrank pushing up. He's in the middle of a minion wave, being a bit too aggressive for Flame's taste. No, they saw this coming a mile away. They don't want any part of it. Oh, oh. Blitz being overly aggressive here, kind of giving away the whole gank potential, really.
Yeah, even if they didn't have Lilia on vision. Lilia has about half of Olaf's camps done.
Oh, here comes TF hovering in the bot lane.
Ooh.
There's the ult.
The hook goes wide right before the ult comes in, and it's a blue card.
No. No, it didn't seem like anybody was really ready for the TF gank, including the TF there.
Yeah.
Olaf looking to invade the enemy jungle. Finds a blue buff for his troubles there.
Olaf hasn't backed yet. He's still
Oh, that's
sitting on
a dead Camille.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
Olaf goes down.
Well, here's Corki looking for his double buffs. Actually, he has no mana. That's not gonna happen. This Blitzcrank is overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And what, as you can see here, he finds himself with no help or mana as Lucian goes in, so he can't really help. He's trying to. It seems like he's 1v2ing the lane.
Especially
Does-
as Lulu has a level on him, making it really
Yeah.
hard.
Like it's a duo bot lane. You kind of need to work with your carry. Lucian with an ult, trying to find the Lulu, gets a few more autos in, not enough with the shield and heal. Gets a knockup from the Blitz, but Blitz has no more mana. Yeah, no more mana or health.
And he flashes in place. Doesn't use the
No.
exhaust, just goes down.
As you can see, there was a lot of stuff leading up to that, and it didn't help. Oh, where you gonna go, TF? They can see you. Oh, flash auto into the ult. Yep, that's all it is. Kaisa over here now. I mean, you're not gonna really fight the 2-0 Corki when you're that far behind as a Lily, unfortunately.
Yeah. Olaf does have his Iron Spike whip, so now he can clear everything so much faster.
But as he's trying to clear right now, it's the dragon. It seems gonna solo it. And he's got innate lifesteal.
National is marked by precision.
Blitzcrank and Lucian probably looking to ward the Dragon Pit. I mean, you could really pull the all off.
Yeah.
Nope, hits the dragon. Steals the dragon at least, but I mean that's gonna cost him his life. Blitzcrank, you really don't need to be here, buddy. Well, if you had your ult. Okay, there you go. Gets a kill for their trouble.
A little bit sloppy, but it works.
It's kind of one of those plays that'll keep them in the game a bit longer, seeing as how it was previously, what was 2-8, with
Yeah.
with what would have been a dragon lead on the side of Flames of Darkness. So you know, getting that, they're trying to make sure the game doesn't snowball. Oh man, as I say that, looking at top lane, a 25 lead on CS with a 2-0 kill, just a few autos here and there, and the enhance. Doesn't even have to throw the ult out, and Camille's gonna have to back.
She really can't step up to the wave without help from her jungler.
Has to use smite just to get away from that fight there. No, it's been an uphill battle for Lulu this whole time. Gets to sleep on the Lulu, but I mean, she just ults away. Here comes Kaisa. Finds the blitz. Oh, all the wards here.
The side of D.E.M is really just lacking damage to take Flames of Darkness down, even when they're really overextending.
Oh, here comes the Wukong dive.
Yeah. Lucian getting the shutdown on Corki there is really good for them.
Lucian's gonna have to be the deciding factor in a lot of these fights, it seems. But I mean, if your support isn't there for you, and like Blitzcrank, he's meant to CC get a full few good pulls here and there, but it hasn't happened so far. And really, when the team fight breaks out, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and we're seeing the tier come out on the Lucian, which maybe he's playing for late game. I'm not sure.
He's
what
vying
that's
for
supposed
late
to be.
game, but at this rate, I mean, it's 4-14. That's not gonna be a late game.
Yeah. Trading top lane and the Wukong has no mana. This could be looking rough. But, yeah.
No, even with Camille's, I mean, Wukong with the steel caps and a Sheen, he has enough damage. He has a sustain. He doesn't really need mana. He's got conquerors, right? Yeah.
Especially inside his own minion wave.
The man was half health, and that didn't stop him one bit. How long do we got till Drax shows up again?
2.5 minutes. Blitzcrank looking to just kill for his carry here.
That's all he can do, yeah. TF finding himself in the bot lane here with Lucian of 3-1 scenario. I mean, they could easily dive that once Lulu has ultimate. Corki's hovering around looking for some picks here. Got to use the ultimate just to clear the wave there. It's polymorphed in the midst of it. Anyway, here comes the other wave, so as soon as this wave hits, here's the dive.
Yeah, they really have to get out while they could, or they have to outplay this insane wave.
And that ain't happening, too.
Yeah.
My side and
As of now, then, here comes Lilia and the Blitzcrank, but I mean, it's still 3-1. They can't really take it. They're not even under tower for that matter either. Olaf all the while pushing the mid lane. He knows he knows what his job is. Oh, they're distracted? Here, let me get a tower.
Yeah, Flames of Darkness does a really good job of spreading their pressure.
No, they're always doing something.
are you fighting back?
Wukong hasn't been able to back him by items, but I mean, apparently he feels comfortable enough to fight the Camille. Here's the ult. Second knockup. Oh, dodges. Oh, but not enough. Just a fat Wukong smack with the auto there.
Oh yeah. That's gotta feel rough. Down 40 CS and 4 kills. Oh, the hook just barely misses on the Lulu. That would have been a...
I don't think we've... Well, no, we've seen one decent hook, but at the same time, it's when Lucian's not been ready for it, so...
Yeah.
It's not really... Yeah, Blitzcrank needs to do a better job of just, like, staying there for his carry. Oh, Lilia thinking she's a damage dealer all of a sudden. That is not the case.
Yeah.
Has to flash just to get out of there. Oof, about 20% health there. Corki probably gonna dive that. Oh, Camille, you didn't leave lane? Nope, there's the second auto. Not enough to finish it, but they'll get a tower for their troubles, as well as the bot lane.
Yeah. This puts them in a really good spot to just take the Jake with all their power.
You think, well, actually, get the pick there, Lucian. Yeah, Lucian's been making sure to stay relevant in this game. The CS isn't terrible, and he's getting picks where he can. Okay, Blitzcrank lands the hook. Not taking turret aggro there, though, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Let's crank 1v2 God. A little bit of a weird half lane swap where Camille is bot lane with Blitzcrank and no one's top. But looks like
Yeah, Camille can't really be left to her own devices, it seems. So she's trying to stay relevant by trying to help fight some team fights. But I mean, when you look at bot lane, Kai'Sa's been ahead this whole time. She'll gladly take more people in her lane.
the Blitzcrank just gets shredded by the Wukong here. I really like the Trinity Force on Wukong. I think a lot of people would go Divine Sunder, but I think Trinity Force is just so much better.
Well, with how D.E.M's team is set up, they're all fairly squishy, so just getting in more hits there, that's all you need. That's all Wukong needs to get done.
Yeah, and at this point, when the Wukong jumps on you under tower, there's not a whole lot of counterplay.
Nah.
Not when you're behind 14,000 gold.
No.
The trick is to be clever and quick.
Lucky them.
Again, this Blitzcrank trying to get some pulls in, but he's just being overly aggro and just finds himself on the end of a beating right there.
Amelia tries to sleep the ulting Olaf, but no avail.
Chasing to kill the Olaf, finding themselves in the crux of a three-man gank.
Leandre is getting finished on the Lilia. Lands a hook. Oh, Herald's that have blocked the Lucian buddy.
Okay, finding 2 kills for their trouble.
Yeah.
A lady never changes her hands.
Chew on this.
Precision is the only standard that
I mean, this rate, Lucian, heck, he might finish his tier. Oh, jeez. Just getting popped over here, the TF, wandering around in apparently what is not his jungle. Oh, Wukong with the ult here, gets a 2-man knock-up. Kai'Sa with the engage, finds 1, finds 2.
Lucian trying to do as much as he can over the wall, but it's not
No,
enough.
Lucian's well aware of what can happen, so he's just dipping.
Well met, human.
Yep, 3 in the mid, getting the first tower, looking to get the first inhib.
Yeah, this is looking really rough. If you're D.E.M, you're not having very much fun.
No, this is certainly looking more rough than the prior game.
Yeah.
7 of 34 right now. They're kind of throwing themselves at the enemy team, trying to get a pick here and there, but that's not enough for them. The full team here, just about really.
They'll probably look to just end right here.
Oh, that's they should. Oh, well, looked like Lily was looking to get a big Q into a sleep, but